Shabbat Shalom, Narusi. It's Nomi Small, your regional rel ed, at least for the next little bit. And this week's Torah portion is Parshat Emor. And fun fact about Emor, it's not only my bat mitzvah portion, but it's also Shira's bat mitzvah portion, or at least Shira's hair. So, in this week's Torah portion, we get a lot of rules. And among them is a rule which talks about Kohanim and how they're not allowed to become impure by coming into contact with a dead body. But the exception for this rule are the immediate family members of the Kohen. So that means the parents, siblings, I believe spouse, and I believe children. So I think that it's really cool that when I was on pilgrimage, going into my junior year, we had two Kohens who were on my trip, Evan Eisenberg and Ben Bronstein, if you guys are watching. And the two of them, we got to Har Herzl, which has a lot of graves on it, including a lot of very famous people. And they were put in a little bit of an uncomfortable position because they couldn't enter the graveyard with us because they couldn't come into contact with a dead body. On the other hand, they still wanted to be respectful, so they have created walkways there because in Israel because they know that people are Kohanim and they don't want to become impure, so there are actually ways of getting around the grave site without actually coming into contact with any of the dead bodies. And a crazy fun fact, there's actually a Mishnah, which is crazy enough to talk about wanting to go and greet a king because you want to show respect to the king so that when the Mashiach finally comes, you'll know how to greet the Mashiach. So this is a secular king or a non-Jewish Gentile king, and so you want to go and greet this king. But for some reason, like on your doorstep is just a coffin, and you need to get to the parade to greet the king, but you can't really walk through the coffin, or you don't want to come into contact with the coffin. So it literally talks about jumping over coffins to go and greet Gentile kings, which I think is just kind of a crazy fun fact. So, not all of us are Kohanim. In fact, I would say the majority of us are not Kohanim. So how do you apply the restrictions of a Kohen to our personal daily lives? I think that first of all, this goes to show us how much we really value the lives of our immediate family, and how at the end of the day, we know that we're going to be there for those people. We know that when the time comes, we're going to be by them no matter what, because they're our family, and because we love them. And so this helps us to put that into perspective that at certain points in our lives, when other things are really, really important, the most important thing is actually family. And in USY, we have a very big family. You have your chapter, you have Narusi, you have International USY, you have maybe your wheels, your pilgrimage bus. Yeah, that didn't make sense. You either have your wheels bus or your pilgrimage trip, and I think that we're blessed because we have this sense of community in USY, because we have this family. And I hope that seniors, as you move on, you continue to come back to the Narusi community, and I hope that USYers who are still going to be in USY next year, good luck, and I hope that you guys have a really strong community for years and years to come. And remember, there's no hug like a USY hug at the beginning of convention. See you guys at Spring Convention. Bye, Narusi. I love you all very, very much.